My name's AJ, also known as the Underrated Z, and I drive a 1982 Datsun 280ZX, also known as the Phantom. I had a mild interest in cars growing up. I can't really put a finger on what made me get into it. My brother was kind of into it, but he had a project car for a little bit and then got rid of it. I think it was just the fact that I like to build stuff. And so I built computers and all that stuff. And then I kind of just keep stepping it up, getting bigger and bigger. And so I'm at a car right now for that. So the way I got the car was actually kind of funny. I actually went to go buy an 03 Mustang GT from a guy who had a junkyard in California, in Yermo, California. And so I drove about 9-10 hours out to the junkyard. And as he was taking me to go see the Mustang, I noticed my Datsun in the corner, covered with a bunch of sheet metal. And I just couldn't get my mind off of it. So after he showed me the Mustang, I asked him if he could show me the car that was under all the sheet metal. Turned out to be the Datsun. And I kind of just fell in love with it, ended up going home with that instead. So about a month ago, I got an email from Motor Mia asking if I wanted to be a part of their Build to SEMA project. And when I heard of it, originally I was kind of in disbelief. I didn't really believe the email just because SEMA is a big deal. And them asking me if I wanted to go there didn't seem realistic at all. But after talking to them for a couple more weeks, sending in an application and telling them what the plan would be for the car, eventually they said, "Hey, let's do it." So yeah, we're in the middle of it now. So the plan is to actually make this thing as fast as it looks. And with that, we're going to start with the engine. This is the stock engine in the car right now. It's an L28E. Makes about 100 horsepower. And with 275s, that is not a good combination for speed. So what we were doing is we're taking the engine and the transmission out, and we are going to be putting this engine and this transmission in. This is an L28ET. It is the turbo version of the engine that's in the car right now. Stock these make about 180, but we're going to try to push around 400 to 500 horsepower with it. And to handle that power, we have a Z32 300ZX transmission that should hold all the power pretty well, just because the ones in the car are from the 80s, and they, I think if you go above like 200, they probably are prone to shatter. So for SEMA, we're obviously not going to take the car like this. Motor Mia has a wrap plan for this car. I think the base is going to be black with a lot of pink accents on it because that's their colors. So it's going to be really interesting to see because this car is very iconic how it looks now, but to see it be a completely different color from what I would have chose, I'm actually pretty excited to see it. So we are here at Motor Mia's garage in Scottsdale. We are installing a diff mount on my car because we had a lot of problems last time. We tried installing it like a week or two ago, and it just got super stuck to the point where we had to burn it off and cut it off at the same time. It was pretty bad. So I'm hoping that this one fits. They sent us a new one. We're also getting measurements and 3D scans of my car for the wrap for SEMA. So I'm really excited about that because most of the car's life has been in its little rat rod style.
All right, so I'm Isaac, founder of MotorMia. MotorMia is a technology company that leverages artificial intelligence to help enthusiasts create their builds. We're basically trying to build a real-world Gran Turismo for every car around the world. And so that's basically what we do. That's what MotorMia is, and we'll continue to grow the platform to assist enthusiasts across all aspects of the lifestyle, whether it's modifying the car, finding the right, manufacturers to work with or the right service providers to work on the vehicles if they can't do it themselves. We thought about creating a build for SEMA, but then thinking about how MotorMia's idea is to democratize the lifestyle, we said, forget about creating a multi-million-dollar build. Let's go out and find everyday people who love working on their vehicle. So we found folks like AJ. The real objective of this campaign is so that more and more people will welcome the idea of building their vehicle into their lives. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this crazy 280Z that was in a desert a few months, 3-4 months ago, and to showcase it at SEMA. Back here, there's some interesting concepts in motion. We're actually trying to create an open source garage concept where the objective is that one of the biggest barriers of entry for working on your car is a lift. So if we can supply people with the option to access our lifts for free, so that way they could just work on the car, then you get results like this, where a guy like AJ is coming in and working on the vehicle. So it's really, 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 really fun. And I hope to replicate this in the hundreds of thousands in one day. It's not about having the flashiest car, it's about having a car that you built. And I think it's priceless when you build it at that point.
So last time we got the diff mount in, it went in a lot easier this time because we got a new metal sleeve from Apex Engineering, so I'm happy about that. We drove about 12 hours round trip to California to get my new air dam because this one was just beat to crap. And so it just has a bunch of cuts and bruises and drift stitching on it. So it was cheaper to get a new one than it was to repair this one or get it shipped to me, actually. Right now, the turbo engine is actually off getting machined. We're getting a new U-pipe made. It's going to flow better, look better. That's going to relocate the turbo to the other side of the engine. The transmission bell housing also went out. We're getting that machined for the Z32 transmission swap, so I can actually drive the car hard and not have to worry about the 40-year-old synchros going out on me. But today we're getting a lot of the rust off of the windshield. So we're just kind of sanding it down, putting some glaze on it, getting it smooth so that the wrap, when it goes on, will stick better and just look better overall.
Hi, my name is Jazz. I went to school for collision repair for 2 years, and then now I work at a body shop. I'm helping this super cool dude named AJ with his build.
Sorry. I didn't think you actually say it.
I'm helping AJ out with a SEMA build. Right now we're doing some rust repair and glazing over it so that the wrap, when it gets wrapped, will stick and adhere better and also be much more smooth. I'm also going to be helping out with some of the engine build, making sure that it's run better. Some of the cars that I've worked on, I've taken them apart and put them back together multiple times, so I'm able to help spread that information over. I have 3 280ZX turbos of my own. One's a restoration, one's a track build, and then the other one's a project car. Been working on it for the past couple of years. So I'd like to spread some of my knowledge with that over here as well. But yeah, this build's gonna be pretty cool for SEMA. Yeah.
So in the last 2 weeks, I've cleaned up the engine block a lot. It was pretty dirty from sitting in the shed for a while. It makes it easier to work on, less mess when you're touching it. I actually also got the transmission bell housing back from the machine shop with the Z32 adapter on there. It's really good. I'm really excited to put that in. That's going to help a lot, and that's a really big component to make a bunch of progress on this. And then we also just got more parts in the meantime. It's just waiting for stuff to come in that had the long lead times. And then today, we are actually going to sand down all the gasket surfaces on the turbo engine to make sure that everything seals up properly, that we don't have any leaks or anything, so we don't have any problems further down the road. I mean, the start was pretty slow, and it was very demoralizing because we spent 2 days on a single diff mount and we still couldn't get it in just due to some manufacturing errors. And then spent another week waiting for the correct parts to come in for that. And so it felt like a lot of time was wasted on small things. But even then I was still waiting for parts. So it just felt super slow in the beginning. Like the first maybe 40 days just felt like they just got wasted away kind of. So things picked up a little bit. We got a CV axle in and the diff mount in. But then it kind of slowed down again after that, just because a lot of the stuff was still on its way. There's a little bit of lead time on most of the products because they have to be built for these engines since they're not as mainstream. So a lot of the stuff is custom. I'm trying to take this on. I have a bunch of really awesome people helping me out, but it's still stressful. We're not a shop. We have to do our jobs and other life stuff, and then we can focus on the car. And I'm just a person. I'm just a just a car guy who has a chance, and just trying to make it work. And I guess that's it. That's how everyone starts. So I'm lucky that I get to do it for such a big show and making it really real street built and not having all that expensive machinery that to work on. I got my little DeWalt toolkit from Amazon, and it's like my main go-to for most of the stuff. So we're in my house and it's getting late and still working on stuff, but that's kind of like the story. That's a lot of people go through that, and we're just trying to make progress where we can, and hopefully make everything work together. But yeah, so we have 14 days till SEMA. As you can see, we're like tearing this engine apart right now. We had some mishaps happen. We tore apart the turbo engine, and it had a bunch of metal shavings in the oil pan, and we couldn't figure out where it was coming from, how the condition was. We didn't have time to tear it apart. I should have done that earlier, but I trusted the previous owner and him saying that it was good to go. So what we're doing is we're swapping the heads because the heads are very different. The turbo engine head flows a lot better than the NA head. So we're swapping the heads right now. We're gonna use the NA block with the turbo head. Should still work good. We'll just be a little bit more conservative on the boost. And some good news is that we picked up a turbo sponsor from Arashi Dynamics. They sent over a pretty nice turbo for us. A lot better than the one I was going to use, so I'm happy about that. Still doesn't take away from the fact that I'm just counting down days, waiting to see how close we can make this, because this week, these next 6-7 days are just going to be dedicated to getting the turbo engine going. And then after that, we'll probably spend 1 or 2 days on the transmission. And then after that, it needs to get wrapped for another 2 to 3 days. And then I need to just do other body work and prep before the show for another whatever days we had left. So it's stressful, but still having fun.
Hi, I'm Austin. I met AJ through Car Meet. We've been friends on Instagram for a while. We live really close to each other, so we go to a lot of car meets and things together. When he started on this project, it was going to be a really cool opportunity to help. I've been in Datsuns since I was like 16, so a decade or so. And since I've been working on Datsuns for a while, it helps that I have a lot of these knowledge and understanding of the way that these cars work. So me being able to turn a wrench underneath whether it's under the car or in the engine or anywhere that it needs to be, really helps in this. And I'm really just happy to be involved in this journey, I suppose.
Hi, my name is Talon Baldwin. I met AJ through Instagram. I reached out to do the fab work for the exhaust and the intake for the turbo. Started with just that and turned into motor work when we found metal shavings in the oil pan. Now we're here at my house working on the car, taking it apart. Me and my dad have done mechanical work out of the house for 5 or 6 years now. He's been doing mechanical work for like 40. I've been doing performance welding and high-end welding for 4 or 5. Around when I turned 16 was when I got interested in the cars. My dad was trying to keep me out of them, got into them anyway. I worked for Science of Speed for a little bit. Now I'm trying to do it on my own and make a name for myself.
How many days? What is it?
This is like 6 or 7.
Till? It's like 6 days till. Well, it's 6 days.
Till, okay.
Till. Well, I think it's like 6 and 6 right now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so we've been at this for 6 days, and we're 6 days away from SEMA. So we've been pulling a lot of late nighters. Talon has probably worked more in the past 4 days than he has in his entire life. And Austin has been slaving away at work, and then he comes here after and he slaves away on my car. So shout out to them. They've been helping out a bunch. But we're getting close. It's getting there. The turbo's mounted, as you can see. We're just going to put on some support braces and stuff like that. We're just kind of doing fine-tuning stuff right now, just getting everything on that we can. We have 1 more day after this to work on it, and then we have to bring it to wrap on Friday. It is currently Wednesday. And hopefully the wrap doesn't take too long. But once they have it once it's running, it's going straight to wrap. So hopefully it runs good. I was going to get it tuned and all that, but we don't have time. And funds are kind of getting low on my end. So we're just going to auto-tune it and hope that runs good enough for the whole week of SEMA. Come back and do everything right. But, I mean, since probably the last time we talked, we've just torn down the whole engine. I'm sure you probably saw on the previous clips. But yeah, we tore down the whole engine and we've just been rebuilding it back up. Put new parts on it, which is nice though. It makes me feel better. The engine ran before, it was okay, but we discovered a lot of stuff that wasn't good about it anymore. So we kind of just replaced it while we were in there.
How you feeling?
Stressed, tired, like excited, but like worried at the same time.
You gonna make it?
I'm running battery cable. We're gonna be putting a battery box in this back corner. So we've got some really thick 0 gauge wire. And because the battery used to sit in the front where now the exhaust pipe, or the exhaust out for the turbo is going, we have to put the battery back here. We were thinking about putting it in this back corner. But it's just going to take a lot of fabrication that we don't have time for. So this box is a temporary option. If it's good enough for a boat, it's good enough for this. So we're going to stick it in the only flat spot that's available there. Use this super thick 0 gauge, and it should work out.
Yeah, so we're at ABD Signs right now, getting the car wrapped, finally, with only 2 days left. I'm very tired. We have been up all night, pretty much. I got 2 hours of accidental sleep. Talon, my fabricator, he's had even less sleep, and he has a baby shower today, so shout out to him. And shout out to Austin. We both, Talon and Austin, they stayed up with me till about 4 yesterday, so shout out to them. Yeah, I'm very tired. I'm sure they are too. Yeah, we got 2 days left and we still have more work to do. We're really close. A lot of the wiring's almost done. Just a few fuel line stuff, just kind of button up stuff, fluids, and then should be able to start it and hope it runs.
Hello, my name's Eric. I work over at ABD Signs and Printing. I have 10 years of wrap experience, and right now we're getting this Z ready for SEMA.
probably just tell the story of the last like 48 hours, 36 hour. Well, last like 72 maybe, 72 hours. The 2 days before SEMA, leading up to SEMA, were probably the most stressful days of my life. We got barely any sleep. Probably between me, Austin, and Talon, we had about 6 hours of sleep combined. We pushed through, and then we finished it at 2 a.m. the day of SEMA. And I took a little nap, woke up, and we drove here, me and my girlfriend. And we somehow made it in time to be here. It's kind of a miracle, but I attribute it more to hard work. It'd be hard for me not to, feel, there's so many people who helped out on this that really did it without taking a second guess at if they wanted to or not. And, I want to thank, the people like Talon and Austin, they really showed up for me, and I can't thank them enough. I'm really surprised about how much they were willing to sacrifice to make sure I got here. Because unfortunately they couldn't be here with me. I wish they could, but unfortunately I'm the one that gets to take all the credit up front. I might own the car, but their heart and soul was poured into it as well, and so they have a piece of them in this car. It's just insane because they sacrificed so much. I mean, Talon had has a kid on the way, and he had baby shower plans and stuff, but he still put a lot of that aside to help me out and do a lot of the fab work. Austin took, days off from work to help me out and help finish this. And, you can't, and the fact that they don't ask for anything in return is another part of the craziness because, they did it out of the friendship or the greatness in their heart, but, those guys helped out a ton. And there's a bunch of other people too who came by, like Jazz. I reached out to them and they didn't take a second guess, and they came by, helped me. They bought me parts and stuff. They did what they could to help. I think it was a community coming together, and all of them are ZX owners. They all have very similar cars or the same car, and it's it was like a community effort. Like the community came together. They wanted to get this car here to show it off, and they take pride in their work and they take pride in owning these cars, and I think that really paid off in the end. I can't thank everyone enough for doing that. It's cool to know those types of people because when times get tough, you don't feel as alone. This all came about from my mom telling me to post the videos about my car because maybe some of our family back east would want to see it, but and then now it turned into this. So, it's a crazy journey to think about from the beginning to now. It's very rewarding. I'm very happy to be here. It's hard to explain. It's hard to put in the words. I just hope that everyone can feel what I'm feeling right now because it's very rewarding.